the melody of us. In a quiet town nestled between hills and forests, there lived a young woman named Alara. She was a music teacher at the local school, known for her soft voice and gentle smile. Every morning, she would walk through the misty path by the lake, humming a tune that only she seemed to remember. It was a song her father used to play on the piano before he passed away. One rainy afternoon, as Alara practiced the violin in her classroom, a stranger appeared at the door. He was tall, with a worn-out leather jacket and a violin case slung over his shoulder. His name was Adrian, a traveler and street musician who had come to town looking for peace, and perhaps, something more. "Sorry to interrupt," he said with a half-smile. "I heard the music from outside. It reminded me of home." Alara, surprised but not frightened, invited him in. They played together, at first, cautiously, like two people walking across thin ice. But the music quickly melted the distance between them. The harmony was undeniable. Adrian decided to stay in the town for a while, teaching music alongside Alara. Days turned into weeks, and music turned into laughter, long walks by the lake, shared secrets, and moments of silence that spoke louder than words. But Adrian carried a weight in his heart. Years ago, he had lost someone he loved in a car accident, his fiancée, who had encouraged him to pursue music. He had spent years running, trying to drown the pain in different cities, different songs, different faces. Alara, too, had her fears. She had been hurt by someone who promised forever but left when life got hard. She had built walls, not tall, but strong enough to keep her heart safe. And yet, slowly, brick by brick, those walls began to fall. Alara taught Adrian how to stay. Adrian taught Alara how to trust again. One evening, under a sky painted with stars, they played their song together at the town's annual festival. The crowd cheered, but they barely noticed. In that moment, they were the only two people in the world. "I never thought I could love again," Adrian whispered. "You just needed the right melody," Alara replied, eyes shining with tears. Years later, their love became the soul of the town. They opened a small music school, where children learned not only notes and rhythms, but also how music could heal, how it could bring people together, how it could tell stories no words ever could. Their favorite piece? The one they wrote together. A gentle, haunting melody. The story of how two broken hearts found each other, and healed through music. The melody of them. Whispers of the lavender field. In the quiet countryside of Provence, where the air was always tinged with the scent of lavender and the sunsets painted the sky in hues of gold and violet, lived a young woman named Elise. She was a florist, gentle in manner and passionate about every bloom she touched. Her small flower shop stood at the edge of town, a charming wooden cottage surrounded by endless fields of lavender that swayed like a purple ocean in the summer breeze. Elise lived a simple life, one full of routine and peaceful solitude. But deep within her heart was a quiet yearning, not for excitement or riches, but for a kind of love that bloomed as slowly and deeply as the flowers she tended to. One morning, as she arranged a bouquet for an elderly couple celebrating their 50th anniversary, the shop bell rang. In stepped a tall, suntanned man with curious eyes and a sketchbook in hand. He introduced himself as Adrian, a landscape artist from Paris who had come to Provence in search of inspiration. "I've never seen a place quite like this," he said, his eyes drifting to the lavender stretching beyond the window. "It's like stepping into a dream." Elise smiled shyly. "It has that effect on people." Adrian returned every day that week, each time with a new drawing, a new question about the flowers, and a new excuse to stay a little longer. They talked about art and literature, dreams and childhoods. He told her about his life in the city, the fast-paced world he longed to escape. She told him about her parents, both gone now, and how she found solace in the rhythm of planting and pruning, of seasons that came and went like silent promises. One evening, as they stood among the lavender fields watching the sun dip below the hills, Adrian turned to her. "I think I came here looking for colors and light. But I found you." Elise's heart skipped. For a moment, the world stood still, wrapped in the golden hush of twilight. They began to spend every day together. He painted, she read to him under the trees. They laughed, danced barefoot in the fields, and whispered their hopes into the night air. Summer melted into autumn, and the lavender faded, but their love deepened like the roots of an old tree. But all seasons must change. Adrian received a letter. A prestigious gallery in Paris wanted to feature his work. It was the opportunity he had waited for his whole life. Elise helped him pack, hiding her heartbreak behind a soft smile. "I don't want to leave," he said, holding her hand. "But I must." "I know," she whispered, her voice trembling like petals in the wind. "Go. Create. I'll be here." He left at dawn, the field silent behind him. Months passed. Letters came often, filled with sketches and stories and longing. But Paris was busy and consuming. The letters slowed, then stopped. Elise kept the last one in a drawer, worn from rereading. Life moved on. Winter passed, spring bloomed again, and still, she tended to her flowers and waited, though she never said it aloud. One summer morning, as the lavender stretched tall and full, a familiar figure appeared at her shop door. It was Adrian, thinner, sunburned, but with the same warm eyes. He dropped his bag and held out a worn envelope. "I came back," he said. "Because no gallery, no city, no painting could fill the space you left." Elise stepped forward, tears filling her eyes. "I never stopped waiting." He smiled. "And I never stopped loving you." They kissed beneath the lavender sky, the field swaying around them like an ocean of dreams, and this time, he stayed. Forever.